Hello again, YouTube. How are y'all doing? It's Andrew, your stunt performing, acting artist person. I think I reduced down the title. I'm getting better. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. I appreciate the views and some of the messages. And yeah, let's keep on going. We're gonna work on this series that I have going on. It's what I kind of am breaking down now. It's turning out to be kind of like the psychology of high performance, professionalism and development through the course of these live videos that I'm doing. I'm not really trying to do the editing thing because I find when I edit, I become too much of a perfectionist and I don't really get the message that I want to convey across. If I do the live videos, they come out a lot better anyway. So all the notes get pointed out and I have my pre-notes loaded as usual. So today's note, and thank you again for everything. Today's note, the things that we're talking about today is that inner voice and what that inner voice is, right? So this is a very important topic as well. All these topics are super important. That's why I'm going to make a little playlist out of all these videos. So the inner voice, what is that inner voice and why does that inner voice affect us and why is it so important to us? And how come so many athletes and people that I know in business and high performance or in culture, art, or in life general have this problem with their inner voice? And I just want to give everybody a heads up, you gotta first, let's go to the first step. Let's recognize what that inner voice is. And I know exactly what that inner voice is. That inner voice is like the harsh parenting or the harsh guardianship or whoever was looking over us. It was the very strict and very intensively aggressive push towards our psyche and our performance and expectations as kids. So when we were younger, we never heard the phrase, I'm proud of you. Like when I'm coaching a lot of these people that I'm with, or when I'm on set, or when I'm with certain cultures of my own mixture, and these are cultures, Black, Chinese, Indian mix, right? So it also stems along all the other cultures too. Man, I don't like that phrase, I'm proud of you. I'm usually the first person that's telling my students I'm proud of you out of everybody else in their life. Like we're talking about brothers, sisters, we're talking about parents, we're talking about aunts, uncles, grandparents. You know, there's a lot of people out there right now, and I after the past 10 years of coaching in 2 different cities, high performance, and being on set, and from the journeys that I was talking about as a performer, but this is as a high performance coach and more from the psyche. More people need to hear that phrase. You got to tell yourself, I'm proud of you. You got to look in the mirror and you got to say, I'm proud of you. And that's something that is we got to do it more often. You got to say it in the morning time. You got to say it at night. You got to really, even the littlest accomplishments, even if you paid a bill, a phone bill, you walked 10,000 steps, I'm proud of you. You got to say that. It's important to say that. I didn't realize that. I thought I was the only one because I didn't have a lot of people telling me I was proud of me. The reason why I love my grandparents so much is because they were the only ones that ever said that phrase, and they were the only ones that gave me any kind of positive reinforcement. I barely seen them. I barely knew them, but just that little bit time that I was with them was enough to keep the fight in my soul going for so long to do what I do, right? So I just want to say, from me to you, thank you for watching this video and thank you for getting along with the series. And I'm going to make it a habit to tell you that I'm proud of you. And, it's not easy. This is difficult. There's a lot of help out there, but there's not really a lot of help that could understand this perspective. I know the grind that you're going through. I know the lines you're trying to memorize. I know the beats you're trying to memorize. I know the homework you're doing, the time you're putting in, the hours you're putting in. I'm fully aware of, the full-time job, or I'm fully aware of that sacrifice you're making, full-time job, part-time job, people in your life, relationships, kids, non-kids, kids that are not yours that you're taking care of. There's so many things in this life that's preoccupying our time, and nobody's taking a moment to say I'm proud of you. So I just want to say in the first 5 minutes of this video that you deserve to hear it. You've deserved to hear it your whole life, and the message of it is I'm proud of you. Okay, so let's break down the inner voice and what it means. What's that inner voice? That inner voice is, yeah, it's the people that have been telling you you are not good enough. The people that have been telling you that you don't matter, you don't care, you don't belong here, this isn't your place to be. Like, I was told that every chapter of my life, not just like in my adult life. I was told that in my beginning, in the middle, blah, 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 right? So I'm not going to get into my own life. This isn't really about me, but this is about me helping you guys. So when I'm saying this, I really want to stress the fact that, like, you know, like, a lot of people don't really want to tell you this, but yeah, you do matter. And without your help and your contribution in this world, it's going to be a very difficult thing, right? So don't think that just because somebody told you repeatedly for X amount of years, you know, and was merciless and heartless about it and cruel and vicious, like, the parenting style, like, this whole generational trauma garbage has got to end. Like, I'm totally for the whole, we cut this, we end the generational curse that has been going on. Yeah, I'm not full 100% saying it's affected all of our families, but it's affecting a lot of my students. It's affecting a lot of people that I'm working with, and it's affecting everybody of this generation that I'm with as we're closing our final chapters in the next 20 to 30 years of our retirement, right? So we still are only halfway through our working load, right? Our working lifetime. And already this is affecting everything that's around me. Like, I've got music producers that can't even answer their phone because they don't even have self-belief in themselves. You know what I mean? I've got people that are avoiding conversations and people that are neglecting certain responsibilities and obligations because they don't have any self-belief. And that self-belief comes from a simple phrase: I'm proud of you. I'm proud of how much work you've put in to get to this far. Because if you're having this conversation with me, you either know that I'm either a high performance individual or we're doing high performance stuff, right? Like I'm creating product to give to casting directors and stunt coordinators and directors, and I'm creating products to make sure that all these athletes and actors and film people are creating great work so they could get work for themselves. If they don't get work for themselves, then I'm a terrible coach and individual. So that inner voice, we got to can them, bro. If anybody's ever told you that you aren't good enough or you weren't the right fit, get them the F out of your life. They don't even deserve to even be there. Like, I don't want to get too personal with my stuff, but my adopted father said a lot of stuff like that for 11 years straight. Like, right when I came out of the adoption, his way of disciplining was extremely strict, Caribbean parent, and he treated me like I was like I was a slave or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was adopted, so he didn't have that, like, connective, like all the other kids in the family and stuff, right? Like, there's a lot of neglect going on, and especially, like, I don't want to push my adoption into this whole conversation, but it's a catalyst to the reason why I'm seeing all of this around me. A lot of people aren't being appreciated or loved, and that's really affecting their performance now, because look, all this tough love and harsh treatment is not working. It's not working at all. It's not working at all. I'm literally coaching high performance kids that are like, let's say 6 to 10 years old. Okay. 6 to 10 years old. I've tried the harsh treatment, negative enforcement, all that stuff, and they would take so long to develop. Because now they have to overcome dealing with that trauma. They have to overcome dealing with the harshness of the reality of the whatever instructions I gave them, right? And then now after that recovery, now they have to go back to their neutral state and then execute at a high performance rate. You cannot do that with these people. Okay, I'm knocking each and every one of you parents out there. Yes, I'm knocking you, each and every one of you parents and guardians out there. Start telling your people you love them and appreciate them and that you're proud of them, and show that you're proud of them. This really pisses me off, okay? So sorry to get all emotional about this, but it's like I'm seeing it firsthand. I shouldn't be the first person in these people's lives telling them I'm proud of you. Anyway, going back on, I got to cool myself off and finish this topic. I got these kids, 6 to 10 years old, okay? Did negative reinforcement, did that old school garbage teaching. Buddy, doesn't work. I then go into the new age way of coaching and I try to be a little bit softer. And, it was very difficult like 3 years ago for me to do that transition from hard performance, hard style martial arts coach to, okay, let's soften up and see what happens. Do you know what happens the second that I tell these kids what to do in an encouraging, positive, reinforcing way? Let me put it this way. In my old club, it took 2 years for certain kids to acquire advanced skills because of that rough coaching, rough exterior, rough push. Great job. 2 years wasted. Within like 6 months in the positive reinforcement full package that I have now when I coach these kids, dude, that like I worked at one club for like 3 months now. No, 6 months, literally. Sorry, 6 months now. Pretty much the best kid in that club, the most talented kid in that club. I kind of had some moments with him one-on-one for these past 6 months. All of his skills are better than mine. All of his skills are better than mine. I'm 41 years old, retired athlete, but I still athlete like pro. I still train with these kids. This kid has better skills than me because I had a positive reinforcement on him. Try to imagine every single parent out there that listened to this video. Try to imagine your kid. If you decided at the age of 8, instead of hitting him with a frying pan or throwing the slipper up and slapping him across the face or her across the face and degrading them and making them feel like absolute garbage. Try to imagine if you just had a positive approach on it and you told them a great way to reinforce that moment and give them self-encouragement and a good inner voice, so later in the life that they're living, they could fall back to that voice and know that it was real and true, and that voice could be a catalyst to, the fortitude of their fight. This is stupid, man. Stop with the garbage, hard style stuff. Certain people need it, but you have to get to that level. Everybody that I'm dealing with now, all these guys are like, I'm from the streets, okay? All these guys that I'm coaching that are high performance have never seen a daylight on the streets. Why are you treating them like they're some sort of dogs? Bad enough that you're already treating us from the streets like we're dogs. Luckily enough, I fought out, got out of the streets, got out of the system, and made it to like the white or blue collar system or the working system. But like, come on, man. You don't need to be harsh to these people. Anyway. Let's share some of the notes that I made because I just went on a tangent for 12 minutes and I wanted to literally just talk about this and keep it less than 10. Use personal anecdotes like your adopted parents. Words became embedded in your self-perception. Invite viewers to reflect on their own inner voices and identify where they might originate from. So I want each and every one of you to actually, like, if you see this video and you really relate to it, I want you to, like, just tell me about your personal experiences and, like, how hard it was just to even make somebody proud. Like, it's impossible with foreign parents, and it's just really difficult. And, the times are changing, and I really want to push for better times for all of us. That's why I'm coming out with this video series, because you guys deserve the best. And when you deserve the best and you know it, guess what happens? The best comes out of you. Okay. So that's my tangent. I just want to get over that first point. Point number 2, the impact on potential. Okay, so discuss how this inner voice can hinder personal growth, especially of high performance individuals and those under cultural or familiar pressure. Talk about moments when the voice held you back or made you doubt yourself, making it relatable. And highlight how social and cultural expectations amplify this voice, particularly in immigrant or strict households. So I mentioned earlier that a lot of our like fathers in particular would love to mention, especially to boys, that you're not good enough and like like you're a failure, you're a bum. Get out of here. You're a loser. They automatically think that, like, we got to go out and get a job. Yeah, I get that. We got to go out and get a job. But how? Like, show us how to write a resume. Show us how to network with people. Show us how to be more personable. Like, understand what kind of person you're raising. Like, when I go and coach a kid, I don't just throw whatever personality I want at the child. I study the child's personality, and then I'm like, okay, this kid's not going to be good with harsh coaching, or this kid's not going to be good with complex words in my language, or this kid's not going to be good with words. I have to physically show the movement so this kid could physically, like, monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. Right? So everybody learns differently. That's another thing I want to talk about, right? So, like, a lot of people get into, like, parenting and learning and coaching and teaching, and they have to understand there's many ways to teach somebody. It's not like I could talk my brains out all day long. I'm only making these videos because it helps the people that understand the auditory part of it. There's a visual part of it. There's a tactile part of it, right? So, there's a memory part of it. There's so many parts of it. There's a dream part of it. There's an emotional unlocking, and there's an actual, like, body unlocking. Like, a lot of the skills that I've gotten in my career, I got positive reinforcement from my coaches that were, like, decided to share that positive reinforcement. But to be honest with you, like, a lot of the skills when I unlocked them, like cork, butterfly twist, cartful, whatever, any of those crazy advanced twists, or, like, just even wire work, or, like, doing triple folds on wire work and then landing in a ninja pose, like, I dreamt it and it unlocked in my brain first before it made sense. But in order for that to happen, I needed that positive reinforcement, right? So I needed to understand that inner voice and eradicate that voice, cut it off completely, right? Now let's go into the third thing, because we're almost at 20 minutes. Geez. Breaking free from the inner critic. So that inner critic is very critical to your, like, productivity, right? So you got to start thinking, everything that I do from here on out, I cannot allow that voice to even have a moment of breath or, like, time. I first wrap the project, then let that guy talk, or let that voice talk, or let that demon or that girl or whatever it is that you identify it as. Whatever. Let that thing talk, okay? But let it talk after, but never let it talk before or during. You can do this. You can make it. Look, I'm doing a live video series right now. I never thought I'd be able to do this, but I'm kind of trusting my confidence in film and media to carry through this video, right? So let's get through this. You could get through this. I know you could get through this. And I'm going to come out with a whole series and a brand for this, because I think we got to start working on it, right? Like, I'm thinking maybe Project Hope would be a good title or series for that. So let me know your thoughts on that as well, and I'll get into this. Okay, offer strategies on how I can help you guys with your challenges to acquire that inner voice, and examples that might help, like therapy, mindfulness, or journaling. So journaling is really good. I like to document a lot of my stuff. The way I document my stuff is I document my training, and I train really hard, but I don't post the really hard training. I post, like, most of the failures, or just kind of like I just got the trick postings. Like, I never post, like, the show off videos, because that's more for me, right? So when you're doing your stuff, post and be confident in what you do and believe in what you do. Remember that we all have our specialties, and especially if you're getting in performance, or if you're high performance already, you've already dedicated at least 5 to 10 years into your craft. So if you don't have confidence up here, your body already has the confidence to do what it does. All you have to do is just set up the camera and press record. Press record. Press record. Right? So that's the main thing. Emphasize self-compassion and importance of separating your true self from your negative conditioning in others. So your true self actually comes from a lot of forms. So when you're lost in your thoughts for that negative condition, oh God, we're gonna hit 20 minutes. This is my longest video. When you're lost in your thought for those negative conditionings, it's because you're trapped thinking about what your father said, or what your mom said, or what your idiot uncle or dumb aunt. They have no voice. They're not here now. They're not gonna be here ever. You're living your life for you. And at the end of the day, surround yourself with people that love you. And when I said last video, make sure it's not fake love. Make sure they're like fans. Like, I surround with people when I go out, and like, it's, at first it was kind of weird, but now it's like I surround myself with people that are like, oh, Andrew, yo, it's so great to see you. Can you help me with this? When I hear that, it's like you feel valued and appreciated. And that's something I want to close this off with is encourage viewers to reclaim their narrative and replace the negative voice and the ones that uplift and motivate. So the thing that uplifts and motivates you is finding that place where you're loved and appreciated. You have to find that place. And it's honestly, the best places are at the gym. Sorry to say it, but it's like the best places are at the gym. There's a lot of ego at the gym, yeah, but that's because everyone's working on their personal best, and everyone's working either on like demons that they're trying to get rid of, or they're just crushing goals and they're crushing life. Put yourself in environments where you could crush life, okay? And sure, you might get 99 no's for every 100 applicants, but there's always that one yes. And at the end of the day, just because that inner voice tells you, no, you're not good enough, no, you don't deserve this, no, you don't belong here, no, you should get out now, like, that's, buddy, cut that off, take that to the barber, because we need to, buddy, this is a full out cleanup, bro, because this is a whole new generation I want to push of just clearance. We're cutting all that garbage out. You want to cut people off? Great. Guess what? Times are changing. Resources are shifting, and the economy has crashed, and now it's going into another direction. I'm not doing this for me. I said, like, in my first video, I want to get a house, hopefully seeing where this YouTube video series goes. But at the end of the day, like I said, if I could help you get cast as a lead in your favorite show or movie you're applying for, or if I could help you get that CEO job, or even get that job where, you know, you've been wanting all your life, or trying to get on that team, or even score that chick that you're trying to like hook up with, but you didn't have the confidence for. This whole entire video is about confidence, and this whole entire psychology series is about confidence. And if people want to question if I'm a psychologist or not, I'm not, but I am a sports theory and sports strategic specialist. And in my development, psychology is part of it. I guess I am kind of a psychologist, because I am a pre-Olympic coach for men's and women's artistic gymnastics, pre-Olympic coach for Taekwondo. I'm a high performance coach for parkour and free running. I'm a high performance coach for tricking. And I'm also a coach for film and television for stunts. So, like, at the end of the day, there's a lot of psychology in that. And I wouldn't have gone to this point if I didn't go to therapy myself and bounce these ideas with other therapists, and gotten to a point where I myself realized that there's a philosophy to what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And it's the psychology of sport, you know, and I really want to expand on it from the perspective of the athlete that was neglected, because there's a lot of us, and from the perspective of the athlete and performer that was neglected, because there's too many of us. Anyway, thank you for everything. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for the time. Shout out to all my Asian brothers and sisters. Shout out to all my African brothers and sisters. Shout out to all my people around the world, the Caribbean brothers and sisters, South America. Yo, shout out to all my people in the States and Canada. Everybody around the world, man. Anybody that's had like a rough, hard upbringing in your parenting and your like I guess like childhood or your guardianship or whatever it was, I get it. I totally get it. If you want to message me, please message me. Don't be shy. And wait until the next video. I got another video coming out tomorrow. We're going to talk about more serious topics, and I'm just going to keep on expanding on these ideas because there's really no closure to them. And yeah, God bless. Take care, guys. I love you. I really do love you. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Take care. Andrew out.